They say Deadlight Hollow is a place no one should enter, a dark void hidden from the rest of the world. For centuries, the forest has remained untouched, shrouded in mystery and rumors. Whispers claim it's where souls disappear, drawn in by the forest's haunting call. But for some thrill seekers, the danger only adds to the appeal. And tonight, one such traveler decides to answer that call. With a flashlight in hand, he steps toward Deadlight Hollow, oblivious to the horrors waiting for him. You might be thinking, what's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. As he steps into Deadlight Hollow, the forest seems to come alive. Shadows stretch and shift, playing tricks on his eyes. The ground beneath him feels oddly soft, almost alive, as if it's watching his every move. The deeper he goes, the heavier the air becomes, as though the forest is tightening its grip. Most people would turn back at the first sign of danger, but not this guy. Driven by curiosity, he ventures deeper until he hears the faint, unnerving sound of a child's laughter, drifting from somewhere within the trees, far too close for comfort. The hero's flashlight flickers as he walks, casting eerie beams over unsettling objects. An old, tattered shoe here, a rusty canteen there, each item more disturbing than the last. It's as if the hollow has been collecting mementos, leftovers from previous visitors. Yet he presses on, brushing off the sense of dread building in his chest. Honestly, most people would have run by now. But he's not like most people. He's convinced it's all part of some elaborate joke or a trick of his imagination. Just as he reaches out to examine a strange marking on a tree, his flashlight dies, leaving him in pitch darkness. In that silence, the forest feels more alive than ever, a presence almost breathing around him. With his phone as his only source of light, he fumbles to fix the flashlight. Shadows crowd closer, pressing in, until the isolation becomes a tangible weight. He begins to sense that Deadlight Hollow is no ordinary forest, it's a trap. A place that feeds on fear, luring those brave enough to enter, only to devour their courage piece by piece. And as he begins to understand, the eerie laughter echoes again, pulling him deeper into the hollow. Starting to regret it yet, maybe he finally realizes he's in over his head. Suddenly he feels something beneath his feet, a faint, rhythmic pulsing. It's like a heartbeat, but not his own. He brushes away dirt and finds an ancient lantern buried there, its green glow flickering to life when he touches it. This lantern isn't just a light, it's a signal to the forest, a sign that another soul is ready to be taken. Deadlight Hollow is older than anyone knows, a dark force that has claimed countless lives. The lantern casts an eerie green light, showing him the twisted faces etched into the bark of trees, their hollow eyes seeming to stare into his very soul. It's then he understands Deadlight Hollow isn't just any forest. It traps people and feeds on them. At this point, he could turn back, but something about the eerie glow of the lantern compels him forward. The mist parts, revealing an ancient stone structure marked with the same symbols he saw on the trees. A shrine hidden in the heart of Deadlight Hollow, waiting for him. As he steps toward the shrine, the ground twists beneath his feet, roots tugging at his ankles, making it nearly impossible to move forward. It's as though the forest has a mind of its own, bending reality to keep him trapped. Desperation drives him as he clutches the lantern like a lifeline. His heart races as he realizes there's only one way out. He has to break free, escape Deadlight Hollow before it consumes him. Sprinting in a blind panic, he races along a path marked by twisted roots and strange carvings, all while eyes watch him from the shadows, tracking his every move. He thinks he's found his way, but Deadlight Hollow isn't ready to let him go. Finally, in a final burst of desperation, he spots the faint outline of the hollow's entrance. He sprints toward it, heart pounding, only to hear his own voice echo from somewhere behind him, urging him to turn back. In his final leap, he stumbles out of the forest and into the daylight, catching his breath, feeling the weight of Deadlight Hollow fade, but only for a moment. When he turns to look back, the forest is gone, swallowed by mist, waiting for its next visitor. Back in his room, the hero stares into the mirror, his face pale, eyes hollow. He escaped Deadlight Hollow, but the memory of it lingers. He hears the laughter, sees shadows flickering in the corner of his vision. Though he left the forest, he knows it's still with him, a dark whisper in the back of his mind. So if you ever hear Deadlight Hollow calling, remember, it never really lets go. It's waiting for someone like you to wander too close, ready to claim its next traveler.